What's up, everyone? It's just me, just Johnny again. Today we do a random review on Metro 2033 Redux. This was developed by 4A Games, and my oh my, did they create a great game. Before coming into this, I had a general idea of what was going on and what this game was. I also played the demo a few years back, but wow, does that demo do an amazing job at holding back. I had no idea what was actually in store for me in the full game. The lore and world of Metro is just such an amazing and unique take on the post-apocalyptic genre. This was based off of the novel by Dmitry Glukovsky, if you didn't know. While I've never read the book, I kinda want to now. I've just never seen post-apocalyptic done like this in video games before. I used to think the Fallout games have the most amazing post-nuclear worlds in all of gaming. While I still do love the world of Fallout and it's got its own charm and personality that's definite, the atmosphere of Metro is just so much more interesting to be in. It manages to have a colorless and bleak appearance and yet still feels so alive. Perhaps it's the amazing ambiance or the incredible detail. Rarely have I ever felt so desperate to see a friendly face in gaming. Rarely have I ever felt so helpless as I watched comrades die right in front of me, and rarely have I felt such terror playing an FPS game where you can actually fight back. Nearly every moment fighting these monsters felt intense and eerie, whether it be the grunt-like forces, the Nosalises, or the frickin' librarians, where you literally have to maintain constant eye contact if spotted. Enough gushing over the game, okay? What is this and why should you pick it up if you haven't already? In Metro 2033, you assume the role of the protagonist, Artyom. You, along with thousands of other humans, live in the underground world of Moscow's metro systems after a nuclear war basically destroyed the entire world. After the nuclear fallout, these demonic creatures began appearing, mutating from our animals. These monsters are known as mutants. While all of them seem to not have much intelligence to them beyond your usual wild beasts, you do have the dark ones. These guys are intelligent, even more so than humans. They have psionic powers, able to make their victims hallucinate or believe whatever they want, or they even have telekinetic powers. And these dark ones, even for some reason, have some sort of tie with Artyom, giving him these episodes where he will pass out and see some visions that he yet has to understand.
Even in the tunnel, lots of people were buried alive. Rumor has it they survived, but no longer is it for humans. They also say something strange has been sighted in those tunnels, some kind of fog.
Bullshit, probably.
Of course it is. Who'd believe it? Vladimir lost all his family in the tunnels. He doesn't remember anything but what happened.
Your main goal is to basically destroy the Dark Ones and save your metro station from destruction by the mutants. Over the course of the game, you will be tasked with going from your home station, Exhibition, to the capital station, Polis, in order to gain help from the console there. It's a pretty simple story, and I gotta be honest, it's not very interesting. You're just going from point A to point B with very lackluster storytelling, I feel. What really pushed me to keep playing is the great shooting mechanics and the amazingly immersive world you were in. I just couldn't help but be completely engrossed in this world. You have an interestingly laid out underground world of Moscow where thousands of people are just packed into these cramped little spaces living in their own filth. You even have different factions, the Nazis or the communists. And along your journey, you'll even stumble upon some metros that have been ravaged by mutants, giving you foresight of what can possibly happen to your home station. And then above ground, you have the lifeless surface teeming with radiation and toxic air, not to mention the horrifying monsters that have inhabited. You even have this really cool gas mask mechanic where you have to wear a gas mask to survive above ground, and occasionally you'll need to replace your air filters, which you can find lying around in the world, or you can buy them at shops with pre-post-apocalyptic bullets. Not only that, but your mask can crack, obstructing your view as you take more damage, and if you take too much damage and your gas mask breaks, you will actually suffocate to death, forcing you to either quickly find another gas mask or just try not to die, or just reload and try not to get hit so much. Blood will even splatter across your screen, forcing you to wipe it off with your hand. It's all really cool, and while it may not seem necessary for the overall experience, it really is. All of these little things just come together and helps add to the overall immersion and experience. It makes you feel as if you're really there in Moscow, fighting for your life against man and monsters, all while trying your damn best to make it out alive in order to save your home. You'll be doing this by either going into battle guns blazing, or you can stealth your way through tough situations. Although personally, I always tried stealth to begin with, but with the kinda unforgiving nature of the enemy NPCs, I found it hard to sneak around for too long. Everything just usually ended up with a gunfight, and eventually I just stopped stealthing altogether.
What the? Seems like... Who the fuck? Well, was that they... You!
Thankfully, the shooting mechanics are top-notch. They're very good, although extremely easy if you play the game on survival and normal like I did. I do not recommend this at all, nor do I recommend playing this on Spartan and normal. This is basically the easy mode of the game. I didn't know that coming into it. From the game descriptions, I thought it would be a harsh and strict survival game, but it's really not. This game is too easy. Like, I can do this with my eyes closed easy. Not once did I ever die because my enemies were better than me or I couldn't control the situation. It was always just because I either fell into a trap I didn't see. I didn't know I was supposed to do something.
I promise you, dear, I will come back and recapture you. Also get you new paint. Oh, the great door. I hear you are calling me. Yes, my mistress. I hear you. Yes. Oh.
Or it was simply BS.
And you taste like shit.
I recommend playing this game on any difficulty above survival and hardcore. Nothing below it. Anything below it is just a cakewalk. Seriously, if you've never played this before, don't play this on Spartan or normal difficulty. It can be a major fault. Not only will the challenge be absent, but most of the fear can be sucked out too as you just breeze right through all the enemies. Now, even though I said the story isn't the most unique or exciting, I did very much enjoy the characters. Aside from your silent protagonist, which before I continue, I have to get this out that I dislike silent protagonists, especially when they're done lazily or not well at all. A good example of a silent protagonist would be Link from Legend of Zelda. He's done well. He never talks, and so you never expect him to talk. I can accept that. However, a terrible example would be your dumb guardian in Destiny 2. If they spoke in Destiny 1, why do they not speak in the sequel? Oh yeah, right. That's because it costs money, and Bungie devs are special little snowflakes that think game development is too hard. Well, in Metro, I think this would be a bad example of a silent protagonist. Artyom does have a slight excuse. He is a young 20-year-old guy who's never left his station. He's never seen the outside world. He's never fought these monsters before. He's never met people like this before. But even still, When your life is endangered, or comrades are heavily wounded, or someone asks you a question, he just remains completely silent and emotionless. Meanwhile, he speaks to himself during the loading screens. I can kind of get this because perhaps he's just shy and an introvert, but when someone asks you a question or you almost lost your life, I wouldn't expect anybody to just remain silent all the time. So if you're gonna have a silent protagonist, make them a silent protagonist. Either they're mute, or they just never talk, or they rarely talk. Besides from Artyom, all the other major characters you meet are actually really cool and likable. You've got Bourbon, who's your first mentor, teaching you the rules of survival above ground.
Hi, kid. Stay hidden. If we meet the beast in the open, crawl into the nearest crevice. Some people call these demons. I call them bitches.
And then you have Khan, who I nearly blasted to bits the first time I met. He introduces you to an otherworldly element in Metro, which I didn't see coming at all. It was a huge surprise to me, and I thought it was really cool to learn about.
Please, and look forward. A battle raged here long ago. The defenders still man their stations. Follow me, but remain at my back. Castone lapio asterion manto. Castone lapio asterion manto. Alum ram. Om castone lapio asterion manto. Castone lapio asterion alum ram. Om castone lapio asterion manto.
You've also got Ullman, your jokester, cracking jokes and your one-liners.
Hey, you at the railcar! Stop the engine! Do not move! Name yourselves!
Oh, we're Nazis coming to take your station.
Ullman, is that you? You're lucky Petrovich isn't here. He's not a man for jokes.
Then you have Miller, the tough military man, the man you've been set out to seek.
Oh, look at this. Someone left a skeleton here. Hey, how about we take it as a memento?
Ullman, enough with the jokes, Blin! When we're back at the base, you'll be sweeping tunnels with a toothbrush.
Yes, my marshal. As you say, my general.
It was a joy to meet every one of these guys, and it was always a bummer to see them go. Another thing I have to commemorate this game for is the horror aspect. Before jumping into this game, I had no idea how scary this would actually be. I knew it was a horror FPS game, but come on, how scary could this possibly be? BioShock is categorized as the same, and that barely made me flinch. Man, was I wrong. While this game certainly won't make you poop your pants like PT or raise the hair on the back of your neck like other games, it will certainly raise your blood pressure and get it going. I've never felt dread like this before in an FPS game. Whether it be from the thunderous flapping of the demon's wings as they swoop over you trying to snatch you up. Or the low and girthy growls of the lurkers as they try to sneak around you and attack you from the back. or perhaps the howls of the Nosalises as they call for aid from the pack.
Moving along. Shit! Can you hear this? Let's fall back a bit.
It really does a great job at immersing you and keeping you on your toes. I also really like the AI of the mutants. They will try to flank you, they'll try sneaking up from behind, they'll jump off of the walls, off of the ceiling. They're really unique enemies and I've really enjoyed fighting them. Now, while the lore and world of Metro is incredibly intriguing and leaves you with wanting more, I do feel that the game is a little too short. For those of you that have bought this game on day one, I hope you got your worth of $60 because while I really enjoyed this, I certainly don't think it's worth that much. However, it should be noted that I thought this game was ridiculously easy because of the difficulty, so take that into note. On my first playthrough of the game, I clocked in at around 6 hours. If you're playing it on the tougher difficulties, maybe you'll squeeze out another 2 hours or more, but do know that coming in. Thankfully, the price has dropped significantly over the years, so it is only $20 now. In conclusion, I can't praise the world of Metro enough. If Fallout ever wants to be this immersive and hopeless, they're gonna have to kick it up a notch and take a few notes. This is how you make a post-nuclear world scary, immersive, and realistic. However, the story of this game is incredibly weak and generic. It is only through the characters you meet and the gameplay mechanics that drove me to continue and come back each time. That is why, as my final verdict, I will be issuing Metro 2033 Redux a 7 out of 10, an amazingly realized and wonderful game. If you're a fan of the Metro novel, a fan of FPS games or horror games, or just want to see a post-nuclear world done well, check this one out. It's only $20. The game even has an alternate ending, which I didn't even learn of until recently. Only one is canon. Still, it's nice to see another ending to give you another reason to play again or keep your interest. Well guys, that will be all from me for today. Thanks for watching and I will see you all next time. Have a good day.